I'm Supermoon Tarot, and in today's video, we are going to be looking at messages from your spirit guides. As you know, I really love working with my spirit guides. I do it all the time. They are incredibly helpful. So whatever messages are the most important, ranging from romantic to in general your life, mindset, career, money, whatever's taking the most precedence will show up in today's reading. As you can see, we have 4 groups in front of us. I want you to take a moment, breathe, center yourself, and then pick the group that you resonate with most. We've got group number 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to give you a moment to do so. Now that you've picked your group, you can go down to the description where you can go to your designated group. It's marked timestamp, and let's get started with group number 1. Group number 1, let's look at those messages from your spirit guides by looking at the cards. We have the Hierophant in reverse, the King of Cups in reverse, the 10 of Cups in reverse, the 2 of Wands in reverse, the 4 of Cups upright, and the 8 of Cups in reverse. I'm just looking at this. I'll share this with you. I always try to share stuff with you whenever, you know how it just kind of naturally occurs to you and you don't realize that you should maybe tell people about it because it could be useful. So when you're picking cards and how to read them, if you're a tarot reader or you're reading for yourself, developing that ability, there is an order in which cards are read. It can be chronological, reversed, out of order, it doesn't matter. And the methods in which you pick that can be also for a variety of reasons. In this particular case, the cards are highlighting themselves. This is a third eye type of thing mixed with, I feel like, where my eyes are being drawn, and they are highlighting themselves in a particular order. And then from looking at that order, I then look at the cards' meanings and see how they run into one another in order to then understand what is the overall meaning. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys. Give me one more second to look at everything. Okay. Ooh, I love what my spirit guide said about this one. And this is actually the last card. So let's get started over here with the 10 of Cups in reverse. It appears you have been just like unhappy for a while. It's a pretty big unhappiness when we have a 10 of Cups in reverse compared to a 3 of Swords. 3 of Swords would be more like deep emotional pain. This is more like you're so unsatisfied in most likely a lot of aspects of your life, or one area of apathy has leaked over into multiple other parts of your life. So if you're unhappy in your career, it's starting to affect you at home, relationships, so on and so forth. That it's becoming, went from something where you're just kind of like, it's an off day, and it just feels like it's getting worse and worse. And when this sort of melting pot of this type of emotion goes into other aspects of your life, you start to struggle with where it all began, where to even start making it better, and you just feel down and unhappy, as we spoke about. Now we can get into actually specifics over here. The 4 of Cups talks about how it's been going on for a while. That also gets confirmed in the 4 of Cups, the 2 of Wands in reverse, and the 8 of Cups in reverse, the timing that it's been some time of feeling this way. The 4 of Cups upright, though, specifically talks about this idea where initially you just kind of it wasn't hitting the right mark with you, whatever area of this life was for you. So again, we're going to just choose an example. Maybe it was your relationship. It just wasn't really the best romance you could possibly have. Or maybe when you date people, they're okay, but you'd love to be in love. Or maybe it's your career. It's fine, but you're just never stimulated enough to really care about what you're doing next. And what started as pretty just relaxed, mediocre feeling started to expand for too long, and this is when the emotions happened in this way. The 2 of Wands talks about the idea of the stagnation has been going on too long. Two of Wands, normally when it's upright, this is a positive thing. It's like before you set out on, with your actions and making things happen, you're contemplating things, you're organizing things. Maybe initially it started off, both of these cards are very contemplative. You were aware you should do something about it. And so you started trying stuff out, figuring it out. I can see a lot of effort being made over here in the Eight of Cups in reverse, but unfortunately, nothing really got you moving past, or even more, you weren't that much more you weren't able to understand yourself and what you wanted any more than you did before you started trying. I can see that this one, it's Two of Wands in reverse. This implies you've spent too long incubating. But the Eight of Cups in reverse shows me you have made a considerable amount of effort, but it just kind of feels like you're running in circles. It's just, and when you're in an Eight of Cups in reverse situation, it is super frustrating. No one can tell you haven't been trying. But the important thing here is we have a solution, which is really beautiful. My spirit guide says for both the Eight of Cups in reverse and the Hierophant in reverse is you're going to go seek out trying things again. Same methods you were before. It could be anything from a new hobby to you practicing a different mindset. Hold on to that concept of an unconventional thing that you're approaching when finding fun and enthusiasm and passion in your life. Hold on, we're going to come back to that with the Hierophant reverse. But the important thing my spirit guide says is you want to, if it doesn't get you excited, or you don't feel anything has changed in your mindset and emotional mood, it doesn't have to be drastic, but if you just don't notice really anything different after, and it's short, a couple of days, and we're talking like 4 days, not 3 weeks, you're going to want to go, okay, that's not working, and then go to the next thing. Stop wasting your time trying to be like, maybe I just need to try it for longer. No. Your intuition is working fine. None of these cards, we even have the moon being reflected here. Your intuition's working great. The reason why nothing's exciting you is not just because, and we're going to actually get specific about it, it's not specifically just because of you. It's because you haven't found the right thing. So let's speed up that process of trial and error of what's working for you. But that ideal unconventionalness is something I want you to hold on to when you're trying to explore what actually makes you happy when you're experiencing whatever you're experiencing. Because the way my spirit guide was showing me imagery and explaining it to me was, let's say you discover you love playing cards, whether it be solitaire. Oh my gosh, I mentioned cards and I wasn't even thinking about how we're doing tarot cards right now. How funny. You're playing solitaire, or you like to play other poker with other people or whatever. Maybe you find out you don't really love the game, but you love organizing and thinking in a particular pattern that cards foster to. And so your brain would go, oh, that's what gets me excited. So you wouldn't fixate on the whole winning and losing. You would go, I'm recognizing, I'm saying out loud to myself, this is the thing that gets me excited. And by identifying that and connecting to that, not only can you continue to find that in other aspects of your life and understand yourself better, but that's going to be the thing that really ignites the excitement and the happiness in you. You have to identify it when it's happening. So when you start to notice that spark happening, consider it being an unconventional idea. It doesn't necessarily have to be a hobby. It can be a mentality that you like when interacting with someone, or maybe you really like the art of conversation. You love getting together with a friend and you go, okay, then that means 5 days a week, I'm going to find 5 different friends. I'm just going to chat it up and have a good time. And you realize that's what gets you excited. You like sharing ideas, figuring it out, but consider that it isn't just blanketly, oh, you develop a hobby where you like listening to music and you want to collect records. You know what I mean? It can be a little more nuanced. Like you like the act of getting a cup of coffee and then going to the record store and then so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying here? So consider being open-minded and finding it out amongst the different trial and error time period. Remember, if it doesn't work after a couple days, skip past it, go to something different. But also you want to figure out how to really break down the science of your enjoyment, because once you're able to really pinpoint what it is and then go, that's the thing I like, it is going to ignite this sense of, ooh, I really like this, you're right, and really bring out that passion you've been seeking. Now over here in the King of Cups in reverse, this is the final sort of awareness when it comes to the emotions, not just where it started and how to pull you out of it, but something to consider along the journey and in the future. So when we have a King of Cups in reverse, the way my spirit guide beautifully put it is, don't allow your emotions to control you. You control your emotions. If you take too long to only feel like, oh, I feel unhappy, and then you basically kind of give into that feeling and say, well, I guess I'm unhappy, then what ends up happening is your emotions are like, yep, I tell you how to feel. Rather than being like, oh, I'm registering that I'm unhappy, I'm going to go do something that makes it better or helps, and there's an effort put towards it. And you're using more of your emotions as an inner compass of where you're at in your life and how you're enjoying the interactions you're having, whether they be social or, like I said, a fun hobby or work or whatever that may be. And it's more of a helpful hint, but don't just surrender and be like, this is just what it is. This is rough. I can't do anything. You have the ability and power to work with it and be the one that tells your emotions how you'd like to feel next. But again, don't overly criticize yourself. If you do notice yourself get, bored again, then go, thank you, emotions, for letting me know I'm bored. Thank you, emotions, for letting me know that I don't feel the best. Thank you for letting me know this isn't working, and I'm going to now be self-empowered and then go figure out what does work. So definitely something to consider before you find yourself again in a circumstance where you're not quite sure how it began, how to get out, and it feels a little too spread out and confusing. So yeah, I hope this makes you feel great and self-empowered, and please let me know in the comments below, what are the things that you've already tried that haven't worked? Could you even revisit that and find something that did work and bring it in another hobby? I'd love to know. Maybe there's something you've always wanted to try and you're gonna try it out. I'd love to know, especially with the unconventional, whenever the Hierophant and reverses are involved, it's always a good time. But I'm always someone who likes things a little bit different, you know what I mean? So again, feel free to also consider giving this video a like, a subscribe, hit that notification bell. I am wishing you the best. I will see you in the next one. And now let's get ready for group number 2. Group number 2, let's look at those messages from your spirit guides by looking at the cards. We've got 8 of Swords in reverse, 3 of Wands upright, Queen of Pentacles upright, Knight of Swords in reverse. We have the Lover's card in reverse and 2 Knight of Pentacles. Okay, I can already tell that's the theme going on, as my spirit guide is telling me is also the theme. They're having me really focus on this Queen of Pentacles though. Okay, let me just get all the info and double check this. Okay, let's get into this. All right, let's get started with the Queen of Pentacles. Both of these cards are sort of where you're starting out, the general theme of energy of where you are at right now in your life. It's basically, we're about to have a huge compliment party over you. But also something to keep in mind moving forward, because that is basically where you're going. You're moving forward, you're setting out into the world, you're going to turn this built up positive energy, and we're going to get more specific in a second, and then move forward and talk about all the things that you don't want to get caught up in order to continue this sense of progression, momentum. Remember, whenever we use this terminology, this implies a sense of flow, success. We actually have potential success being related to over here, which I'm happy to repeat, as well as that my spirit guide has confirmed. Love that. But Queen of Pentacles, it shows us that you are smart enough, skilled enough, you're ready to go. You either have an idea that you're ready to put out into the world and have it to come into existence. Maybe you've wanted to start some sort of your own business, or you want to finally apply for a job that you are skilled in, and you're like, you know what, I'm ready to go there. I feel like I'm ready to transition or go there, whatever that may be. And this says and reassures you of being like, oh yeah, you're good to go. You have got enough behind you in both experience and abilities to have success, that if you say, hey, I'm worth this much, you should be given that much. If you say, hey, I feel like while I might not be able to know exactly what I want to do next, I think I'm ready both in confidence and feel like if I did need to prove myself, I could live up to that. And it's saying, yes, you can. That idea of momentum in going forward gets carried out over here in the Three of Wands upright and the Knight of Swords in reverse, which is actually, fun fact, being read upright. But in the Three of Wands upright, this is going to be the time period. I'm being told by my spirit guide it's a very casual thing. You're going to go out into the world, and you're going to let people know what you're about. So we have two different mentalities going on here. On one hand, there's somebody who's like, yep, know who I am, know what I want out in the world, and you're going to go around casually letting people know you run into, hey, did you know that I really want to become this? Or, hey, I'm looking for a job in this. Yep, I'm so excited. And it's this general sense of energy of like impendingly, you're aware it's going to happen. It's right around the corner. It's like being told by the universe, hey, you're going to get that new job you wanted in 3 weeks. It's going to happen. So you're kind of going around telling everyone, I'm so excited. I'm so excited it's going to happen. I just know that connection is popping up. That's the way my spirit guide put it, is that this is like a huge networking time. So you're letting people know in order to make that connection to then take you to that opportunity. And you're sort of building up this energy around you with everyone being like, oh yeah, did you hear they're working on this? Yeah. And it's all coming back towards you in this built up excitement and enthusiasm that continues to propel you forward. So you're sort of working with other people's energy and using it to your advantage. But I don't want to use the term using. You're not you're not sucking them dry. You're just adding to it. But if you're somebody who's like, I don't quite no, I'm ready for something, I don't know what it is. This card says you're going to go out into the world with same concept. You're going out, letting people know you're ready for something, but it's a very open, think of how this robe is kind of showing their back and making them more available. This open mentality of like, whatever may happen or come my way, I'm going to hear it out and consider it an option. And you're telling the universe, I'm ready for you to give me whatever it is I'm going to enjoy so much. And we're talking again, not just like presents or money. We're talking about like careers, relationships. You're not quite sure who it is that you want to be in love with, but you're ready for it. You're ready for love, whether that be meeting them on social media or at a coffee shop, whatever may have you. But continuing forward, we're going to bounce around over here. Now, the Knight of Swords in reverse and the Lover's card in reverse, I asked if it's specifically related to the Queen of Pentacles, especially if this is like a career-related thing. It says that, my spirit guide said that yes, on one hand it does, like it is a part of the how do we keep that momentum going without an interruption, and this could potentially be an interruption, but it's also an in general idea you want to keep be aware of moving forward. And we can actually break that down more over here in the Eight of Swords in reverse. So the Nine of Swords in this case is being read upright and is flowing into what is still being read as the Lover's card in reverse. The Knight of Swords in reverse is when you're very focused with intensity. You're looking out for it. It's got a lot of like, you're hyper aware. You're going to talk about it immediately. You're not going to hesitate on your thoughts and feelings. So keep that energy in mind when you come across someone fulfilling a promise broken. That is how it's being expressed to me. My spirit guide said that if you ever come across anyone that you're getting to know them, this can be for work, relationship, friendship, it doesn't matter who. Remember how we talked about in this card, anyone you come in contact, their energy is building and positively adding to yours and your path and propelling you and slingshotting you closer to where you want to go. Consider this this disguised as meaning well, but a way of holding you back and distracting you off your path. This is anybody who, I mean, it could be anything from cheating on you, or maybe you have a friend who says they're going to hang out with you, or a coworker has a meeting and they just don't live up to that meeting. They're being flaky. They said they were going to do something. They don't show up. They said they were busy. They said they'll do it later. Now, it might seem really small and minute, and maybe in other cases and situations, at other times in your life, and for other people, they will make it up later. This was just a one-time thing. But in this case and scenario, they are showing you who they are. During this time period, you're going to be aware of going, this is not going to change because of the circumstances right now. And you're going to want to just basically get them out of there. Be like, oh, I see that if I say hanging out, you're not going to show up for 4 hours, or maybe not even all. Okay, well, I'll call you at a different time in my life right now. Now is not the time for me to wait around and put my energy and life on hold. And remember, sometimes when we put our energy on hold, it can create a sense of emotional backlash within us. We feel a little upset, we feel a little frustrated. You might even have thoughts of thinking that you're not good enough or important enough to the other person. None of these things are true. These are other people just living their life. But when they have these little moments of breaking promises that they say they're going to fulfill, even on a small scale, you're going to take note of that and go, oh, okay, not a big deal. I'm going to just be putting my energy somewhere else so I can continue to build and build and build and build. That's the big thing with the Queen of Pentacles. She is, and that's another way my spirit guide put it, you're highly stimulized, or you have you need the new stimulus, and you're looking for it, and this type of stuff is boring. We don't need that anymore. We're looking for new, fun stuff. Now, in the Eight of Swords in reverse, and this is really cute, it talks about not only, the way my spirit guide put it is that this talks about the potential of success. Remember, the reason why we're using the term potential is because it's an Eight of Swords in reverse scenario. It implies that at one point you did feel held back. I keep getting this super intense pull that at one point, before you were building up all this energy and you were moving forward with it, we had a Queen of Pentacles in reverse scenario. When it's in reverse, it implies that you have all these skills, but now's not the right time. But even though you're in stagnation, you're just building up this energy. And when you're ready to go, you're ready to go. And as we can see, you're ready to go. You're blooming out the gate, which we love. But this shows that it was that way, and now that it's in reverse, you're free. You're no longer held back by limitations. This could be, I'm being told by my spirit guide, for many of you, it's like a house-related thing. You were trapped by location. For others, it could be a mindset. It could be whatever. But keep in mind, there is no more excuses. You're ready to go out. Because when this card is in reverse, it implies very much the opposite of feeling caged in. It becomes a infinite card, a limitless card and limitless scenario. That means the options are limitless. Your success in this building energy is limitless. You're ready to go and explore. This is the vibe going on. You're an adventurer of the excitement and energy and whatever good fortune is coming your way. And by putting that energy out there, the universe is going, ooh, they're ready for an adventure. I'm going to send them cool stuff. They're ready. They're telling me they're ready to receive. They're sending it out there and they're letting me know it's good to go. So it's going to come to you very quickly. But the reason why it's important to talk about this real quickly is that my spirit guide says, because there's no more excuses, keep in mind if you find yourself having self-doubt based on your ability, if you're good enough, saying that you need to wait for someone, you need to check back in with yourself, be honest, and realize due to the circumstances and how things have built up, they are just excuses. You are ready. Stop holding yourself back because you're not being held back anymore. You are more than ready to receive. And if you catch yourself in those moments when you have them and go, wait, I'm just making an excuse to myself. I'm going. Let's go. Let's keep going. You will have good fortune and really big. When we have this type of intense energy, I'm so happy I can't get specific because the more vague it is, the bigger of the sort of treasure being given to you. And this treasure can be anything from a very high-paying job to a free vacation and a new best friend you meet to the love of your life. This is like big potential. But that potential could be diffused, slow down, lose momentum if you give in to excuses. And they are excuses. They're not actually obstacles anymore. They're excuses you're giving power to, or you give in to needing to satisfy others rather than yourself. Really keep that in mind. Don't give in to people's, well, next time. Oh, I didn't mean to. It's not about being mad at other people. It's saying, right now, I'm more important in my life than dealing with this and the shenanigans you're putting me through. So, please let me know in the comments below how excited you are. Do you have something specific in mind with all this energy? Or as you're going out there, is there just like a general forecast of excitement around you and that you're kind of putting out to the universe? You're saying, I'm ready, I'm excited, I'm a yes person right now, I'm pumped for those, maybe some fun adventure you go on. I'd love to know in the comments below. Also, consider giving this video a like, a subscribe, hit that notification bell. I am wishing you the best. I look forward to see you in the next one, and let's get ready for group number 3. Group number 3, let's look at those messages from your spirit guides by looking at the cards. We have the Devil card upright, 5 of Wands in reverse, 6, I just couldn't read Roman numerals for a moment, sorry about that, 6 of Swords upright, 4 of Wands upright, 9 of Swords upright, and Page of Pentacles upright. Give me a moment to look at all of these cards. Ooh, I love this. Okay, I'm so pumped to go over this. Let me just get some last minute details from my spirit guides. Okay, this is awesome. The reason why I'm excited about this is it is getting into a lot of details and breaking things down in such a manner that will make it a lot easier to identify what feels very chaotic in trying to process. It's like sometimes totally understanding why something is bothering you, and then the next you can't quite put a finger on it, and then it suddenly feels like it's consuming you. But I'm really happy to say that in addition to identifying things, it talks about where to go from there, and it has such an unbelievably hopeful, happy future going towards. So yay, we love that. So let's start with the most important card, the Devil card. There is so much information in this card alone. So first I want to talk about the idea of the male and feminine energies inside you feeling trapped right now. When I'm referring to the idea of trapped, it's like overly judging and judging them and preventing them from expressing themselves. When we think of the female energy, this is anything from intuition, creativity, your general sense of sensuality, whatever that may be, just a sense of flow that you're not allowing to be expressed. But then with the masculine energies over here being also trapped, this is anything from being really direct, proactive, action related. Both of them are incredibly pinnacle, and both of them are being held back. Maybe you're just feeling pulled back and forth, especially from what I can see being shown in subtext over here in 5 of Wands in reverse. This is a lot of like, hey, I think this opinion, oh wait, I don't know, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll express this idea and this creative solution, I don't know. Maybe I feel really good about myself today, I had it all wrong. It's a lot of back and forth, and it can get emotional and very confusing when both of them are being put down. But here is where, and that idea of being continuously chaotic and expressive and feeling like you're trying to figure out and then getting pulled back into the drama of it all gets repeated over here with the snake eating its head. But we actually have hope over here in this center imagery, interestingly enough. And that idea of hope gets expressed over here, and gets confirmed over here, I'm happy to say. This is when we're talking about the idea that sometimes when things are progressing forward in life and you're trying to understand where to go next and who you're going to be and what you'd like to experience, it is not a linear and clear line. What might appear chaotic, out of order, 5 steps forward, 15 back, that kind of thing, in fact is a non-linear and perfectly harmonious path in a direction you will ultimately be happy with. But by one day, and I understand if it's not something you can kind of like wrap your head around now because you're not at the next leg of your journey where you can look back at everything, but one day you will look back at everything and realize how each thing influenced you to experience the other, which then benefited you, and you couldn't experience something else until something else opened your mind, and so on and so forth. In other words, this is all happening for a really good reason you're going to be extremely happy with in the end, and look back not with regret, but like, oh wow, thank you, universe, thank you, myself, like yourself, sending that your own way through subconscious, energies we're putting out there. That's exactly how it needed to happen. I get it all. And you're going to be really happy. And it is the sign that you are in fact moving forward. But you're also learning the extremely important lesson we just described as chaos isn't actually always chaos. It's just harmony in a non-understandable way initially. Doesn't mean you're not going to understand it later. You see what I'm saying here? So I love that for you. I'm very excited for you. So first over here with the 6 of Swords upright, this of course is our first confirmation. We have like 5 confirmations that yes, you will totally overcome this time period, this back and forth, like not quite sure what to express and do, and kind of keeping yourself imprisoned by yourself. And if you feel that someone else has put you in that circumstance, understand you're now in a situation where you've more been conditioned by those experiences to repeat the sense of being held back. Like you're your own warden now. And we want you to realize you don't have to be anymore and that you can let it go. But it's okay that this happened. It's all working out. It's all working out the way it needs to. So the 6 of Swords is saying, yes, no worries. You're going to get through it. It most likely will not be a clean sense of moving forward. It might be a little rocky, as my spirit guide beautifully put it. Sometimes you gotta get a little you gotta rip some stuff up, you gotta, shout, you gotta let it all out. It might not be the cleanest, smoothest way of getting out those emotions, but eventually those energies are formulating, coming together in order to express them, get them out in a healthy way. And this healthy sense of expression is going to kind of release the steam, get what has been built upon you and suppressed upon you for years that you then continue to project on yourself, finally get it out, finally sort of say to the universe, I'm ready to move on. I've learned what I've needed to learn and I'm ready for the next stage. And this sense of expression and getting it all out in that kind of way then leads beautifully to the 5 of Wands in reverse. When it is in reverse, this implies you're finally like seeing the bigger picture and realizing this back and forth pull is kind of silly. Now, I'm not trying to invalidate through the cards and just in general, my own personal opinion, this is not invalidating your experience. When you're in it, it's real, but it's also when you get out of it, you're like, wait a minute. It's kind of like when you pull back and you look at maybe someone, maybe a breakup you went through a long time ago, enough time has passed, you're healed. And you're like, I can see the bigger picture now. It just was what it was. They weren't good for me. I'm better off for it. But when you were in that moment, that feeling of being upset was extremely valid. Both are valid. You see what I'm saying here? But this is you kind of looking back at that back and forth energy, able to get a certain mindset from the sort of expression of being like, I'm done, and being like, oh, I just needed to say that. I just needed to tell someone about that. And then you're able to be like, okay, I can let go of that sense of holding myself back through, again, we talk about the masculine and feminine energies and how that incorporates in every single aspect of your life. And also we can see over here, this is going to put an end to, I'm really happy to say, because I can see how much it's been affecting you in the Nine of Swords. This is very intense, overwhelming emotions, usually anxiety. But I am being told by my spirit guides, for a vast majority of you, it is dreams you are conscious of. So it is this sense of back and forth pull is haunting you in your dreams. For some of you who don't remember your dreams, you just wake up feeling on the wrong side of the bed. We talk about how entrenched this is, but then there's the release. And then this is what I'm really happy to talk about in the sense of hopeful feeling. Eventually, when you're like, okay, I'm done with this, I'm no longer kind of criticizing myself for what I can and can't do, what I think I should or shouldn't be, I'm letting it go, but I'm not quite sure what to do next. You're going to find a sense of renewed hope, and it's very young, it's very sweet, it's very kind of simplistic, very similar to just going out and smelling the flowers in a literal sense. It appears that you're going to be very close to home. So you're going to have some form of sanctuary, most likely the place you live. And you're going to have be like, this is my little sanctuary, and I'm not going to test the boat or rock the boat too much in the beginning. I'm going to have my little safe space that I enjoy doing all my fun activities and I can relax. And then you're going to occasionally go out and do little activities outside of it that involve very chill, like going for a walk. Maybe you go outside and just buy one book. Just very little, like if you're coming out of this and you're hoping to go dive into love, now's not the time. You're going to chill out and you're going to focus on small little activities. Sit out on your porch, watch the sunset, very relaxing things, and then keep coming back to your little sanctuary. You're just sort of like restarting, if you will, and building a sense of inner trust in yourself, a sense of happiness, building a little kind of like cozy, warm memories. That idea of whimsy and childlike wonder continues over here in the Page of Pentacles. But it's also the mentality of the student. You are essentially restudying what it is that you want to be. It doesn't have an intense tone of like, you're not asking yourself big questions at this time of saying, who am I? What do I want? What is my career? It's little things like going, this flower makes me happy. Maybe I'll go buy a whole bouquet of them. I really like this weather. Maybe I'll spend some more time outside. I realized I really enjoyed characters that encompass that idea. Maybe I'll go find more books like that. And it's just very relaxed and happy and sweet and hopeful. It is a new beginning. It's very chill, but it's an awareness of where to come from to, again, not over criticize yourself if you need to go easy. And this is a sort of like going easy in the beginning for a little while, but then also simultaneously getting excited that this will be behind you. You will feel more whole and be able to kind of if you think of your masculine and feminine energies sort of starting anew, think of them as brand new themselves, and they are for the first time learning to be proactive in small ways, learning to be creative in small ways, and so on and so forth. So I'm so excited for you. It's going to be really exciting. Also, please let me know in the comments below, how is a way that you've been holding back and you're going to finally kind of like pull away from that? Have you been having dreams? I would love to know. If not, don't worry about it. You don't have to share anything you're not ready to share. This is meant to be a very relaxing, nice sense of self-discovery type of card reading. Anyways, also consider giving this video a like, a subscribe, hit that notification bell. I am wishing you the best. I will see you in the next one, and let's get ready for group number 4. Group number 4, let's look at those messages from your spirit guides by looking at the cards. We've got 4 of Wands upright, Knight of Swords upright, 5 of Pentacles in reverse, 6 of Pentacles in reverse, the 3 of Cups upright, and the 8 of Swords upright. Okay. Give me a moment to look at everything, get all the details. I want to double check some intentions here just to make sure. Okay. Okay, cool. So I want you to listen to this reading and take any intense energies or emotions you might feel when hearing certain words we're going to use and dial them down from an 11 to a 3. This is relaxed. It's not a big deal. There is a lot of good in this, and it ends well, and it's actually a lot of positive momentum forward and just some things to talk about, but it's very relaxed. It's very chill. It's not as intense as some of the words that I use in other readings in this situation. So just keep that in mind. So first, let's start off with the 3 of Cups upright. This is something I was double checking with my spirit guides. This is about a friend situation. It can be family. It can be just straight up friends It could be some coworkers. But it's just like a little group that you love and y'all chat to each other and you feel a sense of like happiness and positivity and good times with. And that's the thing I was double checking with my spirit guides is over here in the 3 of Cups upright and the 4 of Wands upright, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It doesn't mean you need to cut them out of your life forever, but sometimes it can be too much of a good thing, and it's starting to kind of mess up, and I don't want to say mess up, it's slowing you down, and that could potentially build into a bigger thing. And it wouldn't like ruin your life. It's just we want to keep up all this good vibration and turn it, think of it as fuel to continue into other aspects of your life and to use it to your advantage rather than it encompassing you and sort of holding you back, if you will. Again, this is not about cutting them out. We're going to get more specific into that. But the idea of this slowing you down and holding you back, it's brought over here in the 8 of Swords upright, the 6 of Pentacles in reverse, the 5 of Pentacles in reverse as well. The 6 of Pentacles talks about the idea, and my spirit guides confirm this, that your energy and time sometimes can get wasted. And I'm not referring to when you're having a good time with your friends, but when you allow it to happen so often or get trapped into conversations, maybe that is not the best time, or maybe another time you'd want to hear about whatever's upsetting them, but they're trying to call you the night before you're studying something or working on something, and it's just, you feel insensitive cutting them off, so you let them keep going. And then this is the bigger problem that we have going on over here with the 8 of Swords and how it could potentially manifest in the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. What I mean by that statement is the 8 of Swords talks about the idea of self-imposed limitations. This is when it feels like these options you have in life, the amount of time you have to get things done in a day in order to accomplish something, to move forward, time to work on a relationship and invest energy into dates or whatever, it's starting to become less and less available to you. Again, when you have your energy and time wasted. Not every single time the group of you get together and have a good time. It's just you might have trouble saying no once in a while. And then this is when you're like, well, there's no harm. I'll stay up late again and talk to them again. Well, there's no harm. I'll be there when they need me to be there. But what's happening is it's starting to be an inner subconscious belief system you're building up. And you're allowing yourself to say it's okay to slow things down. And what is just a well-intentioned, being there for someone, and I'm just giving examples. This isn't the only way it can kind of slow you down and hold it back. Like, let's say a friend is like, hey, can you help me move? And you're like, I just can't. Like, between the helping you move and us hanging out every time, I'm not spending any time on me and my accomplishments moving forward. And this idea gets built into bigger concepts that happen in other aspects of your life. So it's like maybe you're hanging out all the time with friends and you're making it a priority, and then comes work, right? And then when you're at work, the way it manifests in that way is anytime you try to work on something for work at your job, you're always like, no, I still got to get done these smaller task adventures. I can never work on bigger skills at work because I'm always trapped back. My mindset's really focused on accomplishing and giving this more precedence of these small menial, just, I'm trying to give an example so this is more of a clearer understanding. Okay, I always go back to the barista metaphor. A good example is like you always think, well, I gotta re-clean everything. I gotta organize everything again after I've accomplished making some coffee for customers and stuff like that. But if you get trapped in that mentality, you're never taking time to understand, well, where are the other supplies? Maybe I can learn how to put away inventory, and inventory will allow me to get a promotion, or so on and so forth. This mentality gets embedded in your subconscious, and then it expresses itself in another way, example, barista metaphor, and you realize before you know it, you're being influenced and handling things in the same way, but because you're unaware of where the influence came from, the friendship situation, you were unable to sort of initially rise above it because you're just not quite sure where it comes from, how time escapes you, what's the issue, what are you doing wrong. Do you see how life can really kind of run into each other, but if you don't know where it begins, it can get really confusing as how to overcome it. So those ideas are sort of starting to cement themselves in other ways in bigger belief systems. And we don't want that for you. We don't want limitation. We want infinite possibility, lots of options, no matter what's going on in life. We don't want you to be in a position in your life to create excuses, but to always go, yes, of course. I'll put that aside. Yes, of course. So, where do we want to go from here? Again, I checked with my spirit guides. This talks about really positive, good group of friends you've got there. And the Four of Wands also expressing them implies they are very much your heart and soul and not a group of people you should abandon, but instead get refocused. This refocus, when we have the Knight of Swords, is someone who kind of simplifies their life to say, I love you, we're only going to hang out on the weekends, but I got to separate us a little bit. Even phone calls, I got to get a little bit refocused. It's easier for me to compartmentalize in this way. You go here, I work on this here, and just give a little bit more time somewhere else, not only within the friend and reporting back to the friends. Write down all the fun things you're going to share with them and talk and text with them a couple days from now. Give it a couple days in between every week so you can refocus your energy. This refocus on energy can be anything, but figure out another goal or a way you'd like to build momentum in yourself and your life outside of this social interaction. And this focused mentality, simplistic focused mentality, again, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be, like if it's a king situation, it would be like, I'll see you here, I'll organize this there, I'll work on this there. We're just talking about you go there, set amount of days, goodbye. Or you can organize it how you want. But this will help you then overcome it will bring you into the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Now, when we have a Five of Pentacles implying positivity, it's a weird dark way of positivity. It implies there is the potential for all of this to add up. We talk about the weird heavy potential we talk about over here in the Eight of Swords upright, that there could start to be a lacking mindset. I never have time for anything else. Starting to build a sort of inner mantra you didn't intend to take on. But when it's in reverse, it's the confirmation of, no, that was starting to come in. It's going to be let go. You're going to find yourself a nice, smoother balance between enjoying this group of people that you love so much, mixed with moving forward and keeping yourself open and successful in a variety of ways. A good example of this, when we talk about too much of a good thing, it's like you hang out with your friends all the time, and then out of nowhere, one of you starts dating someone. And then everybody gets jealous, and why aren't you hanging out with us as much? And then the limitations come in, the criticisms come in. It's too much attachment of the hip. Now, while we have the confirmation that this will all work itself out through giving some space, refocusing, attention, understanding how it's might have already, because this is implying it's already starting to kind of show up in other aspects of your life of making excuses, thinking there's less when there's more, that type of thing, being a little too addicted to the fun time and fun entertainment energies rather than what else are you accomplishing in your life kind of thing. Now, these sound intense words, but it's not. It's like lovingly going up to a friend and being like, hey girl, I'm having such a good time, but I just realized I'm not getting anything done. I'll talk to you in 2 days. We'll talk then, but I'm going to go get some work done. See how it's not that intense? but it's still affecting you and could build up, so we're talking about it. It's important, but I don't want you to freak out. It's all overall a good thing, because the biggest thing I want you to take away from this is no one says stop being friends with them and having a good time. It's a good crew. This is your heart and soul. They are lovely people. You want to bring them with your success in the long-term future. So please let me know in the description below, how are you going to simplify and refocus the time and energy you have to spare between what you'd like to accomplish and having that fun? I'd love to know. Anyways, please also consider giving this video a like, a subscribe, hit that notification bell. I am wishing you the best. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Goodbye.